So we have another race to go through. This time it is the final race of the weekend for Minimax. Here is your starting order. On pole position starts the 136 of Leandro Fischer from RS Competition. Kachmi.de's 107 in the form of Austin Lee will line up alongside on the front row. Nies Racing's 158, Jonas Ungenade, will start on third position and will have the 112 of David Schnell from Kachmi.de alongside. Then we have Moritz Wolber in the 115 on fifth place, ahead of the 102 of Miko Mikov. David Cheruk in the 121 will have Hugo Gütel alongside in the 174, with Tom Müller in the 122 and Montego Marcin in the 111, rounding out the top 10. Adrien Rohr in the 103 and Maximilian Schreier in the 166 complete the 12-strong running order. We now go on to the formation lap. 9 minutes set on the timer, plus an additional lap. Red lights now ignited on the starting gantry. So Tom Müller, according to this, has just been declared as a non-starter, so we will have 11 competitors in total. And looks like that is the 111, I believe, and Montego Marcin. So down from 12 to 10 competitors. As the drivers now make their way up towards the last couple of corners. The Minimax drivers now make their way towards the final corner. They split, go into the tram lines, revs rise, accelerators press down hard, lights are out, we go racing, and Austin Lee springboards all the way through to the front of the field, and the car gets a bit tail happy as he passes Leandro Fischer going into the first main couple of corners on the circuit and starts bolting away initially. Jonas Ungenade in third place and has got the 112 of David Schnell just behind. It looks like there has been a change for second position as Jonas Ungenade has got past Leandro Fischer for second place. But Leandro Fischer trying to go past, once again, Jonas Ungenade, who goes around the outside of the 136. Back into second position. There's a battle down for fifth place. We've had a spinner. Now was that Miko Mikov that might have just gone off the circuit? Not too sure. It's the 166 of, unfortunately, Maximilian Schreier, who came into the corner, tried to brake, and then the back end stepped out. But the two leaders now starting to get away, and that is Austin Lee in the 107. Jonas Ungenade in second. Leandro Fischer in third place. David Schnell, Miko Mikov, Hugo Gütel. Now round out the top 6 places. David Cheruk now up into 7th past Moritz Wolber. Adrien Rohr now in 9th place. Oh, and that was very close between the two leaders as Jonas Ungenade and Austin Lee were side by side coming out of the chicane. And ahead goes Jonas Ungenade, and up the inside of Miko Mikov goes the 174 of Hugo Gütel. Mikov rounds to the outside and gets past. And there's a little bit of a touch between the two leaders. Back end of the 158 of Jonas Ungenade lifted slightly into the air. Austin is still staying in second for the minute. as Mikko Mikov gets a great run on David Schnell, heading towards the penultimate the penultimate corner. So Ungarnada and Lee get very close. Well, Lee gets literally within an inch and a half of the wall on the left-hand side coming out of the final corner. As the battle between Leandro Fischer, well, David Schnell, Mikko Mikov and Hugo Göttel definitely kicking off as, Hugo Göttel nearly goes sideways up the inside of Mikko Mikov, but Mikov keeps the position whilst trying to attack the 112 of David Schnell. Let's see if Mikov gets past. Doesn't do so at the moment, but then Hugo Göttel up the inside of the 102 manages to filter through and up a position into 5th place. Just under 6 minutes left to go. So the two leaders in the form of Jonas Ungarnada in the 158 and the 107 of Austin Lee last time around was separated by just over 4 tenths. Leandro Fischer leads the train behind as Hugo Göttel going towards the outside there into the penultimate corner and actually makes it all the way around. So a nice little overtake there around the outside of David Schnell in the 112. And now the gap between Ungarnada and also Austin Lee now 4.5 tenths of a second as Lee gets close up into the braking zone. Fischer still hanging on to 3rd, but Hugo Göttel is definitely closing in as Lee now fighting for the lead, going towards the outside, towards the next corner. Goes and takes a tighter line, but Ungarnada wise to it. So Fischer gets a bit sideways coming out of the chicane and loses out straight away. The back end broke traction as he turned right. And then all of a sudden Hugo Göttel now manages to get past through into 3rd place, but Fischer retaliates and gets through on the very next chicane itself. So Austin Lee still trying to keep pace with Jonas Ungarnada, who has set the fastest lap of 1 minute 10.628 when they completed lap number 3. Less than half the race remaining on the timer, 4 minutes and 17 plus an additional lap still to go. Jonas Ungarnada still leads by over 4 tenths from Austin Lee as Leandro Fischer is being hustled by Hugo Göttel through the right-hand kink and then goes up the inside, does the 174 to get past the 136 of Leandro Fischer. But Fischer now trying to fight back. Gets a good run, goes to the right, then tries to go to the left. Göttel now shutting the door. But then Fischer retaliates and gets through this chicane. They're swapping positions quite consistently. But then Leandro Fischer manages to power away from the 174 of Hugo Göttel. Oh, Fischer spins out and goes backwards, but manages to rejoin. As now Austin Lee has got past Jonas Ungarnada in the meantime. Hugo Göttel now rounds out the top 3. David Schnell now in 4th place. Mikko Mikov in 5th. Leandro Fischer recovered to now be in what is 6th place. Austin Lee takes a very... now when he took a glance over his right shoulder, the sidewalls on the left-hand tyres slightly brushed the side of the wall on the left-hand side for Austin Lee, but it was the slightest of glances. And the gap between him the last time around was 4 tenths of a second as Austin Lee manages to break the 1 minute 10 second barrier and does a 1 minute 9.688 on that last lap, as we're now on lap number 6. So at the moment, Austin Lee leads from Jonas Ungarnada in 2nd. Hugo Göttel in the 174 is third at the minute, ahead of David Schnell in the 112. Mikko Mikov in 5th place in the 102, with Leandro Fischer still in 6th position, having had that spin just a lap ago. Adrien Rohr in 7th in the 103, ahead of David Cheruk in the 121. Moritz Wolber and Maximilian Schreier still circulating. So 10 competitors now have just 2 minutes plus a lap to negotiate the circuit, 1,315 metres. Austin Lee now has a lead of 2.294 seconds ahead of Jonas Ungenader as the track looks to be improving. And in the meantime, Austin Lee did a 1 minute 9.688 on the last lap, now did a 1 minute 8.910. And that is just under 7/10 of a second quicker. One of the closest battles at the moment is between David Jehook in the 121 and Moritz Wolber in the 115. They're battling over 8th place. But in the meantime, Mikko Mikov coming under fire now from the 136 of Leandro Fischer, who went towards the inside on the chicane complex before the back part of the circuit. So Fischer now being able to pick up the pace. He just did a 1 minute 10.949, whereas Mikko Mikov did a 1:12.5. So we now go on to the penultimate race lap of the Mini-Max racing action here at Muelsen. Austin Lee now getting through into the main infield complex. Ungenader now goes through too, as does Hugo Gürtel. So now David Schnell coming under close quarter fire with Mikko Mikov and Leandro Fischer. And Fischer running in the 1 minute 11s and was nearly 6/10 of a second quicker than Mikko Mikov. Gets a good run coming through towards the chicane and bumps over the curbs, goes up the inside of Mikko Mikov and was able to make that move happen. Then Mikko Mikov tries to go through on the very next corner, but Leandro Fischer powers around the outside. So the timer has expired. 9 minutes completed as Austin Lee now gets the final lap board. Jonas Ungenader now goes across the line in second. Third is Hugo Gürtel in the 174. Leandro Fischer now challenging David Schnell for 4th place as they come across the line to start their final lap. And Fischer looks to be close. And now Fischer goes up the inside of David Schnell, takes a tighter line through the initial apex, but Schnell then powers through up the inside, as by going through the inside part of the closer part of the apex, Fischer lost a bit of momentum as a result. And that little bit of a tap from behind from Fischer on Schnell on the right rear bumper. But Schnell keeps the position. And Fischer now goes up the inside of David Schnell through into the chicane complex onto the back part of the circuit. But now the checkered flag waves as we wait for our race winner. This time it's Kachmi.de's Austin Lee in the 107. Jonas Ungenader will take second. And Hugo Gürtel was closing quickly, but had to settle for 3rd place, finishing just 0.288 seconds off of the 158 from Nice Racing. 4th ends up being in the hands of Leandro Fischer. David Schnell rounds out the top 5 ahead of Mikko Mikov. Adrien Roy in the 103 completes the top 7. As David Jehook in the 121, Moritz Wolber in the 115, and Maximilian Schreier in the 166 complete the top 10. We had a non-starter in the form of Tom Müller in the 122, with Montego Masson unfortunately retiring before the race even got started. But Austin Lee takes victory in the final race here in Muelsen.